Slangivar, everybody. Johnny Walker Blue Label. You know, Johnny Walker Blue Label is an exquisite blend of Scotland's rarest and finest whiskies. There are hundreds of whiskies out there, but only 1 in 10,000 casks is chosen to create this amazing blend. Slangivar. A bit like crypto, really. Thousands of cryptocurrencies out there, but there's only 1 in 10,000 that is worth looking at. And of course, my new background might give you a bit of a clue. So who am I? What's this video all about, and why should you care? Well, my name is Conrad Zen. I'm a former Bitcoin Foundation member and now evangelist for PulseZen. And in today's short broadcast, we're going to be talking about SPF. You know, I have never really fully believed the story that Sam told about himself becoming a multi-billionaire in his 20s. And, you know, age and experience allows me to see through those sorts of lies. I might be able to make 2 and 2 equal 5, but he claimed that his special algorithm, his special math, could do magic. Well, we all know now the magic that he managed to pull off, and that was making everybody's money disappear. We'll be talking about the opportunity, of course, that is PulseZen, but let's kick off first of all with some idea about how can you create yield without being in cryptocurrency. Well, you know, the thing is, most of us understand that cryptocurrency is the highest appreciating asset class that there is out there. But the banks, the regulators, and the financial institutions don't want you to know that it even exists. So I want to go through some interesting side hustles now that some people may take to instead of looking into the opportunity that is PulseZen. So let's go off and have a look at what is possibly available to us. The first one that I'd like to have a look at is investing in land. Now, it's not a bad idea because there's no more land being built, that's for sure. It's a rare commodity and it has a limited supply. So one of the things that you could go off and do is have a look at Acre Trader, because Acre Trader allows you to invest in different types of producing land. Now, how does it produce land? Well, it could be farmland, it could be for forestry, or it could be to set up a glamping situation, a glamping scenario. So the big thing about being able to do this sort of thing is that if you were able to buy land, you could do this, for example. You could actually buy a piece of land and grow trees. Now, what is the current ROI on growing trees? Well, one of the most profitable type of tree that you can grow is actually oak, an oak tree. A fully mature oak tree, 30 years old, would fetch somewhere in the region of $45,000. And for a paltry investment of about $20, you can start off with a seedling oak tree, wait 30 years, and you will have made a profit of around $3,000 to maybe $5,000. Not bad. But what if you can't wait for 30 years? Well, for those youngsters out there who are interested in this sort of thing, I would highly recommend that you look into a tree called the Paulownia tree. Now, the Paulownia tree is one of the fastest growing trees out there, and it offers a tremendous ROI. In that, Paulownia is used in most of the furniture that is used in China, manufactured in China and exported to the rest of the world. So you've got a pretty big market there to start with. And the rate of return, well, you might be making 5 to 10% of your capital injection. because land isn't cheap. And of course, you have to employ people to actually run the forestry for you. But it is a very interesting idea. Now, the other thing that you could do with land is to rent it out for outdoor activities, such as an RV park or tents, caravans, or even glamping. Glamping offers the highest ROI because city types want to have their fix of the countryside, but they want a bit of luxury too. So that would be my recommendation for using a piece of land that's not used for farming to actually put some very nice tents on it, give it a bit of luxury, and sell that via Airbnb. If that doesn't float your boat, one of the things that you could do is to actually look at Turo. Now, Turo is a app which allows you to Airbnb your car. Well, okay, the idea is that you buy a car and then you rent it out. You create your own hire car business via this app. Now, the ROI will really be dependent, like a lot of things, on your marketing skills, because there's an awful lot of people out there already doing it, but those that really ramp this up can make a fair bit of profit. But it does involve a fairly large capital injection to begin with, and it really benefits those who live near airports, because you see, you're going to be delivering your car to the airports for the customers to pick up, and you'll be jumping in your Uber to get back home. Now, you might be able to get a friend to pick you up, and that might reduce some of your costs. As you progress along, you might be able to get more cars, you might be able to rope in your friends to drive them. Another thing you could do with the Turo app is, if you're not near an airport, then look into the luxury car rental business. There's quite a demand to rent Lambos for those crypto investors who haven't quite made it but want to give the impression that they do. There's quite a lot of those around, so there's fairly large market for actually renting out Lambos. So that could be your little side hustle. And then the other thing that you might do is to start with a Shopify store. Now, this is my personal favorite, because with Shopify, you see, you don't have to make anything. All you have to do is market, because the real secret of a Shopify store success is to make sure you know about AliExpress. Because with AliExpress and with Alibaba and things like this, the best thing about AliExpress is you don't have to order thousands of the same item in order to get a cheap price, in order for you to make a profit. AliExpress is where every Shopify store owner goes to buy the cheapest Chinese tack to sell at 10, 15, 20 times what they buy it for. What's always surprised me about this is, why don't you just go to AliExpress in the first place? Why are you even going to any Shopify store when you can buy it direct? And if you become an affiliate, you can also get 10 to 15% off what you're buying. So, all right, that might not be a business idea then. That might be an idea for you to save money on your shopping. So, I kind of digress a little bit. What I'm really trying to say is, in order to make real money from a side hustle, boy, you've got to be working very, very hard. So what is the alternative? Well, we all know that cryptocurrency is the highest appreciating asset class that there is, but you have to choose the right one. You have to choose a cryptocurrency with a pedigree. You have to choose a cryptocurrency that has fully audited code, that is immutable, and does exactly what it says on the tin. And more importantly, and above all else, you have to have a trustworthy founder. And it has to be decentralized. That is one of the key things. That was always the promise of decentralized finance. That's why cryptocurrency was invented in the first place. Self-custody. That is what it's all about. And with PulseZen, what you do is that you buy Ethereum, you transact on Uniswap, a decentralized exchange, and you keep your coins in your wallet. And through the magic of the PulseZen code, each day your PulseZen balance actually goes up. So here's a little video which explains better than I can exactly how this all works.
In these tumultuous economic times, it seems harder and harder to get ahead. Even though you have made all the right financial decisions, it's never enough. The problem is not you, it's the system. You see, the system is designed to make the rich richer and the poor poorer. The only solution is to break free from this system. Today, you can join a new, growing economy and finally get ahead. This economy is built around a socially engineered token called PulseZen, which is designed to redistribute wealth. The truth is that there is no scarcity of wealth. We just need a better redistribution system. PulseZen harnesses the power of the eighth wonder of the world, compounding interest. Simply buy and hold PulseZen in your wallet, and after each transaction made across the network, your token balance goes up. This is thanks to the Pay It Forward deduction, which takes 2% of every transaction and distributes it equitably to all PulseZen holders. No one is coming to save you. This is the way out, but you need to do the work. You have to get educated. You have to take a leap of faith. You have to join the new economy to secure your financial future. Take control of your finances with PulseZen.
So, to put a little bit of meat on the bones here, let me just explain a little bit more about how PulseZen actually works then. We have the Pay It Forward deduction in the code. And what happens is, for every transaction, be it a buy or a sell or a transfer to another wallet, the Pay It Forward function kicks in and 2% of the transaction gets deducted and is sent to a centralized pool. This pool then gets redistributed to every single PulseZen holder in direct proportion to the percentage of the total supply that they own at the time. Now, here is the astonishing thing. We are utilizing the eighth wonder of the world, compounding interest, as stated by Warren Buffett, but I think he stole it from me, or was it Einstein? I'm not quite sure now. But here's how this all works, because people don't really understand the math of what is going on in PZEN. So very simply, your compounding rewards do not get paid monthly. They don't get paid weekly. They don't get paid daily. They get paid not even by the hour. You are paid compounding rewards after every single transaction. The code does it auto-magically for you. And what that means is your PulseZen balance goes up after every transaction, so that the very next transaction, you actually own a little bit more of the total market supply, so that the next transaction you get a little bit more PulseZen in your wallet. That's compounding on compounding rewards. But there's more, as they say, because we also have the burn function built into the code. You see, PulseZen is a deflationary protocol. What that means is that for every transaction, small percentage, 0.01%, is burnt. So we said that on the very next transaction, you will own a slightly larger percentage of the total supply. But you own an even larger percentage of the supply because the supply just decreased in the previous transaction. This is the magic, the immutable code that is PulseZen. And it doesn't matter whether people are buying or selling. This happens with every single transaction. If you realize the power of a compounding interest and how it's done after every single transaction, it's compounding on compounding on compounding and compounding. There is no other code like it. There is no lockup required. There is no staking required. You simply hold PulseZen in your wallet and the code does its thing. It's immutable. It's 100% immutable. And it's your actions, it's your interaction that makes this all happen. You choose to run the code and you keep self-custody of your coins at all times. This is absolutely so important for you to understand that cryptocurrency was designed to cut out the middleman. Look, let me just quickly touch on Sam Not the Bank fraudman and his little scheme and why it all went wrong. You see, it wasn't just last week when I sounded the alarm bell that the cracks had started to appear in his little shenanigans. Because last year, round about, I think it was April and May, Sam had already set up Alameda Research. Alameda Research came before FTX. Alameda Research he set up as an algorithmic trading platform. And the coin that he was trading at the time was Bitcoin. And it is rumored that the run-up from 59 to 69,000 US dollars per Bitcoin was directly attributable to that one little program. And in order to multiply the effect, Sam created his own exchange, FTX. And not only that, he went to the Silicon Valleyites and managed to convince them as a 20-year-old that it would be a great idea if they gave him billions of dollars in order to build his exchange and create a token out of nothing called FTT. And herein lies the rub. Had Sequoia done any due diligence, had SoftBank done any due diligence, we may not be in this debacle at all. So there are many parties to blame in the collapse of FTX, starting with Silicon Valley, because all in all, they have a large amount of capital, but very few brain cells. It is reported that at the meeting with Sequoia, Sam was actually playing a video game during the interview. Now, I don't know how true that is, but I can imagine the scenario, because a private memo went out after that saying, this kid is a genius. He was even able to play a video game and win whilst he was convincing you guys to hand over billions of dollars. So what actually happened this week where so many people have ended up in tears? They've lost all their capital. I did sound the warning signals on Sunday night, early Monday morning. But here's what I think actually happened. I think Alameda actually overstepped the mark, and they started borrowing and leveraging trades which weren't actually going very well. And so FTT, the coin that Sam created, was used to prop up the exchange. But more than that, Sam was commingling depositors' funds in order to collateralize loans to give Alameda a cash injection. That is fraud. That is possibly criminal. And that, I think, is what CZ of Binance found out about. And he didn't like that very much at all. Now, there may be much more to it than I'm describing in this 2-minute little interlude, but in essence, Sam managed to convince people that FTT had some kind of value, but he was actually borrowing real money to actually prop up Alameda, and that was the FTX users' money that was deposited in good faith on his exchange. That all blew up because CZ said, I'm not having any part of that, and he decided that he was going to blow the whistle, and he actually withdrew his holdings on FTX and told everybody that he was going to sell them, and he did, thus crashing the price of FTT, thus leaving Sam with nothing to hold on to. He was in full exposure mode and there was nothing he can do. But what transpired next was unbelievable. I think CZ must have had a pang of guilt because he must have known that everybody was going to lose their money. So he said, you know what, I'm going to buy you out instead. But of course, when he went to do that, I think he already knew, really. And this may have just been a face-saving move by CZ. After all, he is of Chinese heritage, and saving face is very, very important. And so that deal was reneged on. And then we had the total collapse. The withdrawals were shut down. And Sam came back and said, well, you know, don't worry, FTX US is a separate entity altogether, so you guys are safe. And I told you on Monday that that was not the case. And of course, the end result was that within 24 hours, Sam had declared bankruptcy, not only for the FTX exchange, not only for Alameda Research, but also for FTX US, which was supposedly a totally separate entity. So the moral of this story is fear and greed started this entire event. There's actually no scarcity of wealth. We just need a better redistribution system. We are in a rotten system all around, and we need to get rid of these guys. And decentralized finance, PulseZen, offers the solution to every retail investor out there. All we have to do is to explain the opportunity to everyone else. And eventually, the snowball effect, the organic marketing that is surrounding PulseZen as a community-driven token will get out there eventually. So those of you who are astonished by the very small price drop that we've had in PulseZen, please understand, PulseZen is not an investment. Please understand that any money that you have put into PulseZen, you could lose everything. Well, you can't lose everything, but we're just going to use those words. 90 to 95% drops in price are common in cryptocurrency. Volatility is the price that we all pay for such high gains. But you have to be very clear about one thing. You have to make sure that you are in control emotionally. Do not let your dinosaur emotional brain take control of your finances. Be logical. Why would you be selling the one protocol that promises you and does exactly what it says on the tin, pays you compounding rewards forever? It doesn't matter whether I'm around or not. The PulseZen code is immutable. It runs if you choose to sort of take action yourself and press the buttons. It is also true that PulseZen holders will get a direct copy of their PulseZen on PulseChain whenever it arrives. I was on a space with Richard Hart this morning. He seemed quite reluctant to allow me to speak for some reason, but I did garner this from him. I am absolutely convinced that we're not going to see PulseChain launch before Q1. It's not coming anytime soon. It will be Q1. And I'm going to stick my neck out there and make a prediction like that. Even though I keep saying I have no crystal balls. Hopefully, I'm wrong and it does get launched before Christmas. That would just be fantastic. That would be the icing on the cake. We will see. But what is important to understand is that the centralized exchanges are not the way forward. We need to have regulation. We need to have clarity from the SEC and others. And no doubt there will be a flurry of activity to try and introduce legislation which will not be to our benefit, but will try and stifle the nascent industry that is cryptocurrency. But guess what? There's nothing that anybody can do. Bitcoin created a new world. PulseZen is creating a new economy. You have the option now to opt out. PulseZen is not a lottery ticket. You're not going to invest $5 into PulseZen and come out a multimillionaire tomorrow. That is not what this is designed to do. It is a very serious, long-term wealth building product. And you have to understand that. And if you're after a moonshot coin or a lottery ticket coin, then you need to be in a different protocol, because that's not what this is all about. So there's my little rant about what's happening in the world of crypto, but that's it, because we can be extremely zen about PulseZen, because we know as I sit here and talk and you sit there and listen, our PulseZen wallet balances are going up. And for that, Slanjivar. So I will take questions at the end of the broadcast. But now I know that you're all waiting for the PulseZen giveaway. This week, we decided that we would up the ante, and the Pulsinator will be throwing out some names. And the first name out of the Pulsinator is going to win 100,000 PulseZen. Can I get a 1 in the chat, please, if we're ready to go? I'll just wait because I'm a little bit behind on the chat here, so it might take a while for ones to come through. Definitely behind. I can see myself talking. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We are hopefully now going to be able to run the Pulsinator. Let's just see if I can bring it up. Ooh, that looks like the Pulsinator. So let me just run through the scenario again. The Pulsinator is going to run, for those of you who have registered, your name is in there somewhere. The first name that the Pulsinator comes out with is going to walk away with an extra 100,000 PZEN. The second name out of the Pulsinator is going to win 200,000 PZEN. And the third and final name will walk away with 500,000 PulseZen. That is 500,000. That is a total of 800,000 PulseZen given away. Yes, I am feeling extremely excited about the protocol that is PulseZen. I'm extremely excited for the future, for all the people that have joined us so far and taken advantage of the opportunity. Zenites, unite, start spreading the word. Let's save the world. And in the meantime, let's see who's first. And who's it going to be? There we have it. There it is. For a grand total of 100,000 PZEN, that goes to MS345. MS345, you are the winner of 100,000 PZEN. We are on a roll, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go for the next name. The next name out of the hat, out of the Pulsenator machine, is going to win 200,000 PulseZen. Are we ready? Here we go. Oh, I love the name. Loving the name. Oh, very funny. PZEN, dollar, dollar, dollar. Well, it certainly is for you, whoever you may be. 200,000 PulseZen will be in your wallet by Monday UTC midnight for all the winners today. Boy, this is exciting. All right, let's see. For the third and final winner today, for a grand total of 500,000 PZEN, 500,000 PZEN. Let's go for it. There we go. Dandaman. 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 You have won an astonishing 500,000 PulseZen. 500 PulseZen recorded right here in the chat. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? That was exciting. Let's have a 5 in the chat if you thought that was exciting. So there we have it. That's 800,000 PulseZen. Now, I told you I was in an extremely happy mood today. Very, very happy. Very, very excited. So you know what? A final surprise giveaway for the fourth name out of the Pulsenator. You, sir, are also going to walk away with 500,000 PZEN. Yes, the next name out of the Pulsenator also is going to get 500,000 PulseZen. Here we go. And there we go, Zenite 96. Zenite 96, you are the final and surprise winner of 500,000 PulseZen, winging its way to your wallet by Monday night. Wow. Okay, I'm exhausted now. A grand total of 1.3 million PulseZen given away. What a fantastic day it's been. What a fantastic week it's been. What an exciting week in DeFi. If you were a PulseZen holder this week, then all the shenanigans that have gone on, you are unaffected. So that's it for this week's broadcast. I'll just have a few moments to take any burning questions about PulseZen or about anything really. If I can just read your questions in the chat. I am a little bit behind, so just give me a few moments. There's quite a few of you in today. Crypto Steve says hello. BHexy, cheers from Amsterdam. Lekker. Lekker, lekker, lekker. It certainly was. Black Eagle says good afternoon. Smash the like, friends, he said. Yes, so if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do so. Please like our content. Please make a comment on all our content. Go and follow me on Twitter at AskConradZen. And of course, that goes for all PulseZen content creators. Go and seek them out on YouTube and Twitter and go and like and follow and subscribe. The more of this that we have, it's like word of mouth advertising on steroids. It's free, it doesn't cost you anything, and it's well worth your effort, I am sure. Garrow 55555 says hello to all the Zenites. I stubbed my crypto. PZEN has Morgan Freeman. Well, I don't think it's Morgan Freeman, but sounds very familiar. Fusion Streams says smash the like button, people. Thank you, Fusion Streams. I keep forgetting to do that. Peter Hinriger says this PZEN clip is great. Certainly is. Crypto Dust, quality token logo for quality tokenomics. Crypto Dust, I believe you're responsible for some of our graphics at least. Over 40 leading up, looking forward to see where this coin goes. Great concept, Conrad. Yep, we certainly think so, and so do a lot of other people. Jacob J, hello to you. Bojan SDPH, hello to you. Cetherino, hello. Graham Evans, hello to you, sir. W Airport, hello to you. Midnight Madness, Jacob J. All right. So, do we have any burning questions about the PulseZen protocol or about crypto in general? I have 2 minutes to go before we have to wrap this up. Just remember, price not important. PulseZen in your wallet, most important. Until later. I Stop My Crypto says, Conrad, what on and off ramps do you prefer for crypto? That is a very, very interesting question. I would much prefer it if somebody was to go out and create a fiat on and off ramp by wrapping something around Uniswap maybe. Go and get a money transmitter license in one of the states. In order to exchange fiat crypto, all you need is a money transmitter license. And the unfortunate thing about that is you have to have a license for every state in the United States. And that could be very expensive. But for example, to do it in California, you need to have a deposited bond, as they call it, of around 50,000 US dollars. But so long as you don't have a criminal record, that's pretty much it. And then off you go. It's as simple as that. Go and check it out. I didn't really answer your question there because I don't really have a favorite. Any other questions? Any other burning questions for us this afternoon? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you so much for joining me. Another fascinating week in the world of crypto. Much more to come going forward, I'm sure. I'm sure there's going to be more contagion from Sam's little debacle. But one thing is clear, that those of you in the PulseZen opportunity are going to have a very zen time throughout it all. And remember, we are in the depths of a bear market. Just imagine what this protocol is likely to do in the future. No financial advice. Nobody knows what's going to happen, but it's definitely an interesting thought. For my replay viewers, thank you so much for joining. You are not forgotten. If you make a comment on the video, I will do my very best to answer you then. But of course, what you really should be doing is subscribing and clicking that notify button so that you don't miss another episode and you don't miss the opportunity to join me live. So I think I've spoken for quite enough, taken up enough of your time. Have a very zen weekend, and I will see you in the next stream. Thank you.